Do you feel like having read the classics, and maybe not all of them, but I'm sure a fair amount of them, studying literature gives you sometimes a leg up in understanding the scripts and understanding where your showrunners or creators are coming from when you sit down and talk to them?
I think so. Yeah, maybe. There's certainly, it does wonders for your imagination when because you're encouraged, doing things like Shakespeare, for example. I was a big Shakespeare nerd when I was studying, and that's sort of how I got into acting.
What's your favorite Shakespeare play? Do you have one?
Like picking a child. I really like Henry IV Part 1. Yeah, I think Hal's journey from prince to king in that is really, really.
You can tell you're not lying about being a Shakespeare nerd because you picked like a pretty esoteric.
Was that niche? Oh, okay, I don't know.
Like Romeo and Juliet.
It's probably not Romeo and Juliet because it's wonderful, but
it's overdone. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
If you're like a big fan of Shakespeare or any kind of creator, usually your favorite one is not the one that everybody knows and talks about.
I feel like the problem a lot of the time when you go and see Romeo and Juliet is it's really long and you wish they were dead before they are dead, and then eventually it ends. But yeah, going back to your earlier question, I think there's something about, for me anyway, a grounding in literature and those really classic stories. It fired my imagination. I mean, that's sort of, if I can identify any kind of through line for me from where I was as a kid to where I got now, is I love stories. So, and I consume them in loads of different ways, whether it was, reading, grew up loving like reading about myths. I used to watch loads of TV, and it was always, ranging from like Thundercats to, there was this epic Indian serialization called the Mahabharata, which was this like sweeping story of good versus evil. I used to watch with my mum. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So it's a real mix of stuff.
Did you grow up in the UK?
I grew up in London, yeah.
Yeah.
And being exposed to from a very early age, just like so many influences. So yeah, I think maybe studying literature in a way was a continuation of that, and a way for me to prolong getting to play with stories. And then somewhere along the line, when I started doing plays, I kind of realized, I don't just want to consume them, I want to be part of telling them. And yeah, that was a bit of an epiphany moment for me.